and unforgiving peaks of the Himalayas, the legendary Yeti senses imminent danger. The Yeti feels the merciless bite of -10°C, where even its legendary thick fur coat begins to...
As the blizzard erupts into full rage, blinding everything in white chaos, the Yeti desperately searches for any form of shelter to survive the night.
Every grueling step saps the Yeti's strength in this -10°C nightmare, where a single misstep could mean being swallowed by the endless drifts. Pure survival instinct takes over as the Yeti claws desperately at the frozen earth, racing against time to carve out any protection from the deadly storm. In bone-numbing -10°C, the Yeti builds its primitive snow cave, a fragile sanctuary against the blizzard's unrelenting fury.
Huddled tightly inside its icy makeshift den.
The dawn brings no relief. The blizzard rages on, forcing the increasingly hungry Yeti to risk exposure in search of food or face certain starvation. Driven by primal hunger, the Yeti heads toward the icy river, hoping that fish still swim beneath the thickening frozen surface in this frozen hell.
Defying the risk of severe degree.
The Yeti's frantic first attempt ends in failure. Every second in the freezing water brings the deadly threat of hypothermia closer.
Patience becomes the Yeti's most critical weapon, as the combination of wet fur and sub-zero temperatures pushes it dangerously toward hypothermia.
After relentless effort, the starving Yeti secures a meager catch, just a few precious bites to temporarily silence. Returning to the relative safety of its cave, the Yeti conserves every ounce of energy, fully aware that this ferocious blizzard shows no mercy or end. Exhaustion finally claims the Yeti in fitful sleep, haunted by visions of endless blinding white and unattainable warmth. With energy reserves dwindling fast, the Yeti pushes its body to the limit, survival instincts burning brighter than ever. A rare and precious discovery, these frozen berries provide the Yeti with minimal but vital calories in the unrelenting sub-zero cold. Undeterred by previous hardships, the Yeti returns to the river, determined to secure more substantial food this time. 2 fish secured through improved technique, yet the wise Yeti eats sparingly, preserving strength for the uncertain days ahead. Deep loneliness grips the Yeti as it rests in its frozen sanctuary, with only the storm's endless roar as company. Survival knowledge honed by necessity, the Yeti strengthens its shelter, turning raw snow into a more effective defense against the elements.
Temptation taunts the Yeti, but wisdom prevails. It refuses to waste precious energy on impossible...
Even basic hydration demands caution. The Yeti methodically consumes snow to maintain vital fluid levels.
The Yeti's powerful physiology fights the freeze, but constant hunger grows ever more insistent with each passing hour.
The cold continues to harden the world around it, and the Yeti realizes each hunt will demand even greater effort.
Innovation born of desperation, the Yeti fashions better tools to increase its chances in the unforgiving ice fishing battle. Each failure teaches the Yeti valuable lessons, bringing it incrementally closer to mastery in this frozen domain. A significant victory provides the Yeti with much-needed calories, though still far from enough to end the starvation threat.
Thinking ahead for tomorrow, the Yeti utilizes nature's freezer to safeguard its hard-earned provisions.
The storm tests the very structure of the Yeti's shelter, pushing its physical strength to the absolute limit.
Even the legendary mighty Yeti feels the crushing weight of despair in -10 of endless isolation and cold. Subtle clues in the snow offer fleeting hope, guiding the Yeti toward potential new food sources.
Time stretches into eternity for the focused Yeti. Patience remains its most powerful survival tool. The Yeti savors these rare moments of triumph, using the fresh protein as fuel for another day of brutal survival. Constant improvement of its shelter, the Yeti transforms raw snow into a more effective life-preserving barrier. A brief glimpse of celestial beauty reminds the Yeti of life's fragile wonder amid the savage storm.
The last scant remains provide minimal sustenance, but force the Yeti to begin the daily hunt anew. Bold necessity propels the Yeti into dangerous open areas, gambling exposure for the chance of better hunting.
New territory brings renewed possibility. The Yeti prepares for what could be a more productive hunting spot.
Lightning reflexes finally pay off for the Yeti in the frigid depths, securing a substantial meal.
Strict self-discipline rules the Yeti. It balances immediate hunger against long-term survival needs.
Nature's renewed fury pursues the Yeti, testing its speed, strength, and endurance to their breaking points. Brief recovery time allows the Yeti to rest and mend in the dim blue light of its icy den. Variety in hunting locations keeps the Yeti one step ahead of the storm's attempts to starve it. Prudent caution saves the Yeti from a potential watery grave in these -10 degrees Celsius conditions.
Supreme adaptability defines the Yeti. When fish fail, alternative food sources become essential. Barely palatable and minimal nutrition, yet the Yeti forces every bite down in the name of survival. Halfway through this merciless frozen ordeal, the resilient Yeti clings fiercely to life and hope amid the unending Himalayan blizzard. A brief and fragile respite arrives at -5 degrees Celsius, granting the weakened Yeti a narrow window to strengthen its defense. Slightly milder conditions breathe fragile new energy into the starving Yeti as it searches for richer hunting grounds and better long-term shelter. Upgrading its lifeline shelter, the Yeti carves out a spacious new snow cave designed to withstand weeks of isolation. With deliberate engineering skill, the Yeti creates thicker, more wind-resistant walls, transforming its den into a true survival fortress. Starvation now gnaws relentlessly at the Yeti's core, driving it to risk everything for a substantial meal.
Willing to endure greater pain and risk, the Yeti plunges deeper into freezing waters, determined to secure more calories.
Hard-won protein fuels the Yeti, yet iron discipline forces it to ration strictly as weakness creeps into its massive limbs. Even simple routines become sacred rituals. The Yeti maintains vital hydration in its frozen sanctuary.
Hidden dangers lurk beyond the walls. The Yeti stays vigilant even in its most secure refuge.
Sharp observation and experience guide the Yeti toward potentially richer fishing spots beneath the ice. A partial but crucial victory sustains the Yeti in its endless war against hunger.
When fish prove elusive, the adaptable Yeti turns to nature's sparse alternatives to keep starvation at bay. Anticipating the storm's possible return, the cautious Yeti continually improves its shelter's defenses. Dedicated skill building ensures the Yeti's hunting efficiency grows with each passing day.
A major nutritional boon energizes the Yeti, offering precious days of sustained strength.
Strategic foresight drives the Yeti to build a reliable food cache for leaner times ahead.
True restorative rest claims the Yeti at last, vital for healing both body and spirit.
Daily labor preserves the Yeti's hard-won home in the ever-shifting snowy landscape.
Curiosity and necessity lead the Yeti into unfamiliar territory, seeking advantage over the storm.
Masterful stealth hunting, the Yeti employs total stillness to ambush unsuspecting fish.
Raw, immediate need overwhelms discipline. The Yeti devours a full meal to quiet raging hunger.
The price of exploration. Profound fatigue crashes over the Yeti after another grueling day.
Growing confidence fuels the Yeti's dreams of bigger hunts beyond mere survival.
Constant readiness defines the Yeti. It hones its built-in weapons for whatever challenges arise.
Setbacks strike hard, forcing the Yeti to improvise against overwhelming hunger.
Rare abundance in plants, these berries provide the Yeti with a vital carbohydrate boost.
Mindful consumption helps the Yeti stretch every scarce resource to its fullest.
Ever watchful, the Yeti prepares for the storm's potential resurgence without delay. Hyper-awareness protects the Yeti from unseen threats lurking in the darkness.
Fog shrouds the world, but the experienced Yeti adapts seamlessly to new obstacles. A brief period of abundance graces the Yeti, offering more food than it has seen in weeks.
Wise resource management, the Yeti builds security against future scarcity. A tantalizing hint of better shelter excites the Yeti, though it remains loyal to its proven cave.
Proven reliability triumphs over temptation. The Yeti prioritizes safety in its decision.
Strategic rest becomes a powerful tool in the Yeti's survival arsenal. Reliable reserves carry the Yeti through sudden lows in energy and morale.
Mastery of rationing defines the Yeti's disciplined approach to long-term endurance.
Growing expertise rewards the Yeti with quicker, more reliable success.
Personal growth through adversity. The Yeti acknowledges its own resilience and adaptation. Vigilance never sleeps. The Yeti senses the storm may not yet be finished.
The Yeti's legendary endurance shines through during these crucial periods of recovery.
Consistent daily maintenance keeps the Yeti's shelter fully functional and safe.
Calculated boldness drives the Yeti to push boundaries in pursuit of better rewards.
High risk yields high reward. The Yeti secures its best catch of the entire ordeal.
Balanced indulgence and foresight, the Yeti strengthens itself while planning ahead.
The Yeti's careful engineering proves its worth against nature's renewer assault.
A defiant proclamation. The solitary Yeti asserts its unbreakable presence in the wilderness.
Circle turns.
Unyielding determination keeps the Yeti hunting, even when fortune turns against it.
Nearing the storm's potential end, faint but growing hope burns steadily within the enduring Yeti.
The cold viciously slams back to -10 degrees Celsius. The seasoned Yeti braces for the storm's brutal and unforgiving second wave.
With no time to spare, the Yeti fortifies its sanctuary, knowing failure means certain death in the renewed blizzard.
Starvation reaches its cruelest point. The Yeti's final reserves barely sustain its massive, weakening frame.
Blind but unbreakable determination forces the Yeti into the heart of the storm one more time.
The Yeti fights the thickened ice barrier with everything it has left, knowing this hunt could decide its fate.
Raw triumph through excruciating pain, the Yeti secures vital protein in its darkest hour. The absolute edge of endurance, the Yeti's body and will are tested to their very breaking points.
Minimal movement becomes the Yeti's only strategy now. Pure conservation in the face of total exhaustion.
Visions of escape and plenty sustain the Yeti's spirit through the longest, coldest night.
The first fragile hint of mercy. The storm's grip begins to loosen on the battered Yeti.
With fish failing, the resourceful Yeti scavenges whatever the frozen earth still hides.
Barely nutritious but life-saving, the Yeti forces down every scrap to spark faint revival.
Signs of the end motivate the Yeti to restore its shelter for the final stretch. Deep pride swells within the Yeti. It has endured what would destroy lesser beings. Final gamble. The Yeti risks everything on one more critical hunt. A vital spark of fuel arrives just in time to carry the Yeti through the night.
Unexpected relief washes over the Yeti. The storm's roar finally begins to fade. The long nightmare ends. The resilient Yeti senses the storm's defeat at last.
Abundance suddenly returns. The triumphant Yeti feasts on nature's delayed reward.
Recovery ignites rapidly. The Yeti rebuilds its depleted body with joyous indulgence.
Forward thinking once more, the Yeti plans its next chapter beyond mere survival.
Freedom beckons strongly. The strengthened Yeti steps boldly into the transformed landscape.
New promising horizons open before the Yeti, offering safety and plenty. Adaptation never stops. The Yeti establishes a foothold in its brighter future.
Ease and plenty replace struggle. The Yeti's skills now yield effortless rewards.
True strength floods back. The Yeti thrives fully in the storm's aftermath.
Profound lessons etched forever. The Yeti emerges wiser and unbreakable.
Serenity and tranquility finally embrace the battle-hardened Yeti.
Warmer air signals true change. The invigorated Yeti roams freely once more.
Nature's full bounty awaits. The Yeti revels in variety after so long on the edge.
Complete mastery achieved. The Yeti's hard-earned expertise shines brilliantly. Wisdom from hardship guides the Yeti. It prepares diligently for whatever may come. The Yeti constructs its finest shelter yet, a true home in the mountains.
Isolation begins to lift mentally. The Yeti dreams of connection beyond solitude. Deep satisfaction fills every fiber of the Yeti's being after the long trial. Awe and gratitude overtake the Yeti under the vast, peaceful Himalayan sky. Complete healing envelops the Yeti, body, mind, and spirit fully renewed.
True normalcy returns. The Yeti lives fully, rather than merely survives. Adventure calls irresistibly. The empowered Yeti explores without fear. Variety and nutrition explode. The Yeti's health reaches new peaks. Security and belonging ground the Yeti in its chosen domain. Unbridled pride resounds. The Yeti honors its own incredible endurance. Eternal vigilance remains. The Yeti readies itself for whatever nature brings next. Grace and ease define the Yeti's movements in its reclaimed world. A thunderous declaration of victory! The Yeti proclaims its conquest over the frozen apocalypse. The long ordeal fades into legend. The Yeti's saga of survival reaches its forged in ice, hunger, and isolation, an eternal survivor.